Mr. Mayor, we live.
Great. Thank you for that, Mark. Today is February 21st, 2024. The time is 7:10 p.m. and I'm calling to order the Baldwin Park City Council regular meeting. So at this moment, I'm going to ask Pastor Jackson to lead us in an invocation.
Right now, in giving you praise, Lord. Lord, as I look out, I see people and all those out there. With him. Only that, Lord, that us are out, also have our spouses asking you, spouses, looking at you. And touching our, tearing down the stronghold of and alcohol. Father, there's homelessness everywhere. Asking you and break that thing for them. Asking you, Father, to look at the businesses, all in part, at the business, and as a business grow and prosper, city prosper.
City Clerk, can I have a roll call, please?
Mayor Estrada,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Ayala,
Here.
Councilmember Avila, Councilmember Garcia,
Here.
Councilmember Damian.
Here.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you for that, City Clerk. So we are at report from closed session. City Attorney?
Thank you, Mayor. Earlier tonight, the City Council met in closed session as part of the special meeting agenda. There were three main items. There were 5 litigation matters with respect to those items. I should also add that all members of the council were present, including the mayor. With respect to the 5 litigation items, the City Council heard presentations from legal counsel, provided direction, and we have no reportable action. There was also a conference with real property negotiators concerning the property listed on the agenda. Again, City Council provided direction to its negotiating team on that matter. And finally, we had conference with labor negotiator concerning the groups listed on the agenda. City Council provided direction to its negotiating team, and we have no further reportable action. That concludes the report.
Thank you for that, City Attorney. And so at this moment, I will move to adjourn the special meeting. Can I have a second? Any objections? Not, the special meeting is now adjourned and we will continue with the regular meeting. And we do have an announcement. The City Council are also members of the Board of Directors of the Housing Authority and Finance Authority, which are concurrently convening with the City Council this evening, and each council member is paid an additional stipend of $30 for attending the Housing Authority meeting and $50 for attending the Finance Authority meeting. We will move on to proclamations, commendations, and presentations. And we do have a proclamation for National Black History Month, and it will be presented to our Measure BP Oversight Committee Vice Chair, Dr. Elmer Jackson, pastor at Christ Extended Hand Ministry in Baldwin Park. Pastor Jackson, I'm going to ask you to join me up here at the dais. All right. So National Black History Month, February 2024. Whereas each February, National Black History Month serves as both a celebration and a powerful reminder that Black history is American history, Black culture is American culture, and Black stories are essential to the ongoing story of America. And whereas shining a light on Black history today is as important to understanding ourselves and growing stronger as a nation as it has ever been, that's why it's essential that we honor the legacies and achievements of all generations. And whereas today Black Americans serve our communities and our nation at every level and field across the board, business and law, health and education, arts and science, and many more. And whereas our nation was founded on the idea that all of us are created equal and deserve to be treated with equal dignity throughout our lives, therefore we are encouraged to openly and honestly work together as one to deliver fairness and respectfulness for all. And whereas the city of Baldwin Park presents this proclamation to Dr. Elmer E. Jackson, pastor of Christ Extended Hand Church in the city of Baldwin Park for over 35 years, he has been actively involved in community outreach and volunteers his time in many community events. Pastor Jackson has been the police chaplain for Baldwin Park PD for over 23 years and currently serves as vice chair on the Measure BP Stakeholders Oversight Committee. Now, therefore, I, Emmanuel J. Estrada, mayor of the city of Baldwin Park, along with Mayor Pro Tem Jean M. Ayala, council members Alejandra Avila, Daniel Damian, Monica Garcia, City Clerk Christopher Sands, and City Treasurer Joanna Valenzuela, do hereby proclaim February 2024 as National Black History Month in the city of Baldwin Park and encourage all residents, community members, public officials, and educators to observe this month with appropriate programs and activity. Words before we
Well, one of the things I do want to say is thank Baldwin Park for recognizing Black History Month. And not only should Black History Month be recognized, also other ethnic groups that are in Baldwin Park should be recognized. And as we as a city and as a nation, we should come together as one together. And that's what we need to do, and to love one another, irregardless of what you look like, irregardless of the language that you speak. We are one. God bless you.
right. And I do want to know how important it is to celebrate diversity and inclusivity and push for social integration and understanding that, most importantly, how important intersectionalism truly is and how real it is, and how sometimes we may not look alike, but the struggles we go through are incredibly similar. So very, very important that we learn to empathize with our community and empower one another. And now I want to announce that on today's City Council agenda, a recognition to Eurico M. Cruz Esparza, Community Services Supervisor, will be added to the proclamations, commendations, and presentation sections of the agenda. Eurico, come over here and join us, please. I'm always excited to give out plaques, but not today.
Short time, Mayor.
Yes. Side-eye.
Mayor.
Okay. I thought you were saying hi to everybody. All right, Eureka. So tense. So Eureka's been our community service supervisor for quite some time here. She's been instrumental in a multitude of the efforts that we provide here at the city, primarily our homeless efforts and making sure that people are housed, that they have a safe place, including shelter, wraparound services, and everything that they need to get back on their feet. And you know, and I can attest to that firsthand since, you know, we work together on certain things, and I see her at the Regional Housing Trust and everything that we advocate for, and it's not always easy to advocate for these types of services, and Eureka has been a spearheader in this effort, and we were very, very lucky to have her for as long as we did. You know, we wish we could have her longer and keep her here forever, but we know that the work that Eureka does is important, and we are sure that these opportunities for her are going to advance that for the greater good. And so we are very, very proud of Eureka and thankful for her dedication to our city, and we are excited to see her grow, even if it's without us. So Eureka, Community Services Supervisor, Recreation and Community Services Department, from January 18th, 2016 to February 22nd, 2024. In recognition of over 8 years of service with the City of Baldwin Park, we commend you for the unconditional dedication you have given your colleagues, residents, businesses, and our community. Thank you for all the hard work you committed to many city projects. We wish you the best in your future endeavors. February 21st, 2024. Daniel J. Estrada, Mayor, Jean M. Ayala, Mayor Pro Tem, Council Members, Alejandra Avila, Daniel Damian, Monica Garcia, Christopher Sands, City Clerk, and Joanna Valenzuela, our City Treasurer. Then we have some presentations from Senate.
Hi, everyone. My name is Carla Cardenas. I'm here on behalf of State Senator Susan Gio. We just want to recognize the amazing hard work that you did. I've only known you for so long, but I can definitely tell the impact you've had on the community, our office. So on behalf of the California State Senate, it's my honor to recognize your outstanding service to the city of Baldwin Park. The city is incredibly fortunate to have had you serve as their community services advisor. I commend your 8 years of unwavering dedication and devotion that has indisputably provided invaluable contributions to our community. Your tireless efforts have truly enriched the lives of those around you. We wish you success as you commence your next endeavor. Congratulations and good luck.
Wow, it's amazing that 8 years ago we met. I'm Veronica Lopez with Assemblywoman Blanca Rubio. It's an honor to be here to say goodbye to a friend, a colleague, always ready to answer the call. I remember some of our interns in the office will call upon you to help them with housing issues. And then you also participated in our Young Legislative Panelists Policy Panel. I thank you for that. And I know wherever your journey takes you next, you're going to do just as great. I had to change my schedule tonight so I can be here for you. When April sent me that email, like, oh yeah, I'm there. I'll just change my schedule around. So just don't tell the people I canceled on. But yeah, don't tune in. On behalf of Assemblywoman Blanca Rubio and the whole community, we will miss you. You are an exemplary leader. Your committed dedication to the most vulnerable residents of the San Gabriel Valley, especially Baldwin Park, it's impeccable. Thank you so much for all that you do. And again, we wish you the very best on your next journey. A little princess.
Good evening, folks. My name is Pablo Morales. I'm here on behalf of Supervisor Solis, First District of LA County. I'm here to present the certificate for Eureka. She's a wonderful person to work with. Briefly, right, since I'm fairly new to the field office, and you know, we've sent a constituent increase to you, and it's great to see the noble work that you do, especially for the city of Baldwin Park. And as a resident here in Baldwin Park as well, it's great to see the many services that we have for our most vulnerable populations. There's no better thing. And it is a controversial issue in many areas, but helping the most vulnerable folks, especially being there for them and offering these services, the work that you do is something that's beautiful. And it's great to see that, and we're here to recognize that, and the best and much joy and prosperity in your future endeavors. I'm sorry. I got stuck there. Yeah, all of those. So here we are, Yuriko Ruiz Esparza on behalf of the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors and Supervisor Solis, First District, in recognition of dedicated service to the affairs of the community and the civic pride demonstrated by numerous contributions to the benefit of all the people of Los Angeles County. The best for you, and it's great to be here.
Well, thank you. I'm always prepared with like speeches and articles and writing, but today I just wanted to speak from the heart because as you could tell, this truly does take a village. And you could see by tonight's just the people that are here, the partners that are here, we couldn't do it alone. And that means the residents that supported all of these projects, the amazing leadership with City Council, the faith-based communities, and all of the people who have made these projects a success. I'm really proud to have had a part in the national model that now is Baldwin Park with interim housing. And I'm just excited of all of the great work that the city itself has kind of stepped up and become a leader and showed how other cities can do it despite of their size, despite of their challenges. We know that city government is an extremely crucial piece of the puzzle to solve the unhoused populations and to just be there for the residents. When I came here, I was just joking with Manny that I came to build capital improvement projects with parks and, enhance the quality of life for residents through green space. Little did I know that this journey took me into, meeting those basic needs of individuals, of organizations that we work with. And I think it's just been an absolute honor to serve the community of Baldwin Park. You are a respectable agency in homeless services, and it is because of your hard work and dedication. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to my department, which was Parks and Rec, and then we just launched an entire homeless service delivery model that is now something that others want to replicate. And I just want to thank again all of our partners because we can't do this work alone. So anything from the local to the regional, the San Gabriel Valley, Council of Governments, the County of Los Angeles, the state, all of us are in this fight together. It is probably, as a public administrator, a lot of you guys know I'm a bookworm too. So hoping that I can graduate next year. And as a public administrator, it's just the biggest honor to be able to serve at such crucial kind of point in my life and my career. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of the just the accolades and just the support that you all have brought at many different times. So thank you again. My husband is here. Thank you, Francisco, for always listening to my stories about how we can help everyone in the community. And to my colleagues, April, everyone here tonight, and those that couldn't make it too, because it is an emergency appointment. So it was quick, but I'm forever indebted into those colleagues. We leave you in great hands. Our team is ready to keep going. And thank you again. And I'll be close, City of LA. So thank you. Closer everywhere. Thank you so much again for just the amazing work.
Nani?
I will go ahead and say a few words from here. Eurico, it has been an honor to work with you. The 8 years and 1 month has gone by very quickly. It seems like yesterday we interviewed you at the Arc. And as part of the interview process, she had to write a press release. She was the only applicant to write the press release in English and in Spanish. It was translated. And yeah, she is. And that pretty much set the tone. Everything she touched turned into gold. So it has been an honor to work with you. We know you have a bright future, and always remember you have a family here with the city of Baldwin Park, because we will probably want a tour at a later date with the city of Los Angeles. So again, congratulations. And as I mentioned on day one, once a city employee, always a city employee. So again, congratulations. We are very proud of you.
Pictures first and then council comments, or council comments first and then pictures? What do we want to do? Do we want to do comments first? Okay. Well, I will, I'll start, from the council and just congratulate you, Eureka. I'm so excited for you for this next chapter. I do remember when you were new to the city and you had some big shoes to fill, because your predecessor was amazing too, Monica Killen. She was wonderful. So I remember when you came before us here, we were like, who is this Eureka? And, I saw you just kind of really growing. And I remember you kind of inherited, if you will, the homeless, policies and the projects that we were throwing out at the time. And they were so nascent. They were so like early stages. But you were, always very receptive. And you always, listened and kind of took it to the next step. And I remember sharing with you, you were going to become a subject matter expert in this area eventually as you were moving through this experience. And it's no surprise to me that you have become that, not only for our city, but in the region, first starting with El Monte, South El Monte, Baldwin Park, and then really expanding on that too, with the San Gabriel Valley COG and the Housing Trust. And so I really do want to say that you have established yourself in that way. And I really, do want to wish you the best in the next chapter of your growth as well, because I think it'll be really exciting. So just want to, just wish you all the best and know that we are always here to support.
I just want to say congratulations on your new position and wishing you the best of luck. Sad to see you go, but you got to do what you got to do, right? You've worked hard for it, so I wish you the best and we will miss you.
Well, Eureka, as I said to you, congratulations, but I'm mad at you at the same time. Yes, but I want to thank you for the work that you have done here. The homeless became your passion and you worked from the heart. You've made a big difference here in the city of Baldwin Park. You helped us bring a program together that works, that not just works because we put it together, but you help those people feel love. You helped us find a home for them where they can feel they're valued. You worked with the team, with Manny, with all your team to make sure that our programs work, because that was our vision. Our vision was to help those unhoused. And we fought to make sure that we brought that program here. And like you said, now it's a program that everybody looks at. And we thank you for helping us push forward, helping us and guiding us and bringing ideas and looking at our ideas and Manny's ideas, everybody's ideas, and bringing the whole program together. I know you're going to do great in LA. And things happen for a reason, because I think LA is in need of a person like you. Because if we have a problem with the unhoused, they have a bigger problem. So I can't wait to see the change you make there. I'm sure you're going to make a big change. Congratulations. I'm sure we'll be in touch, and I can't wait to see the work that you do.
Yuriko, I just want to take a moment just to thank you as well for your commitment to our community. An extremely professional person, and I appreciated that in every encounter that we had. I know, as my colleague said, you're going to do great work. And I know that you're going to call upon your knowledge that you know, experienced here and just to this, you know, bigger level of where you're going to be. But I do, we are going to miss you and I do wish you the best. And thank you for the time that you committed to our community. I appreciate you very much. Thank you, Yuriko.
Mr. Eureka, if you could join us over here. Details.
Why these are still here and everything.
Rico, so are you going to the City of LA Housing Department or the mayor's office? Oh, yeah. Yeah, thank you for housing. Awesome. Yay. Okay, so
Under announcements.
yeah. Okay, so at this time, we have a special guest with us that I would like to introduce, and her name is Kathy Zhang. And she is a wonderful singer. She sang for us at our Veterans Day event last November. And so we would love to have her up here so we can recognize her. Kathy, you want to come on up? Okay. Okay. We also have a very special announcement. Our State of the City address is coming up. And Manny Carrillo, would you like to give the honors of the
Yes.
invitation?
The event is going to be on Thursday, April 11th, and it will be at the Performing Arts Center up on Main. It should start at 8:30 a.m. and it is going to be a very fun event for the community. They will be able to hear all of the accomplishments the city has accomplished over the past year. So looking forward to the State of the City event. And our young participant here will be singing the national anthem at the event. So
That's something you would like to do, Kathy? Okay, so Mom, April 11th at 8:30, if that works for, I know it's probably going to be a school day, but we would love to have her, be our singer for the national anthem. And the mayor and the city council will be there to give the State of the City address. So, yeah. All right. Well, sit down and get ready for April.
Yes.
For a picture.
I will say a couple of things if I can about her. I had the privilege of meeting her at our street market. And I remember we were trying mom to get the music going and everything like that. And she did a great job singing some very popular tunes. And that's when I first had the experience of meeting Kathy. And then she came to our veterans ceremony, and then she's sang at some very big venues for some very big professional teams. And it's an honor and privilege to have you joining us on the State of the City on April 11th. So thank you for agreeing to do that.
Oh, okay. Guess they have something. On it, Kelly. So Kelly went through the trouble of getting some wonderful gifts for here at the city council.
Oh, make my own.
So you.
Kelly.
Oh, does that sound good to you? Yeah, okay. At 8:30. Have you? All right, everybody give Kathy a round of applause.
I'm gonna eat it right now.
We're gonna be munching on this chamoy here during the meeting, okay? Toss some snacks to the side. Anika, I'll share with you.
All right. Well, thank you for the gift, and we look forward to seeing you on April 11th.
Wow, look at this.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, so we are at the end of our proclamations, commendations, and presentations. And so at this moment, I will open up public communications. City Clerk, is there anybody looking to speak?
Yes, Mayor, this time we received one speaker card. It's from Irma Morales, LA County Library Program.
Please turn on the microphone.
Ah, there we go. Okay. Well, good evening. I wanted to talk about the programs at the Baldwin Park Library going on for the next couple of weeks. We're going to be having through the public health, they're going to be doing COVID-19 vaccines clinic on Tuesday, February 27th from 1 to 3. We are also having our own programs. We're having a Baldwin Park Local History Club. Our theme for this month is We Love Baldwin Park. That will be Wednesday, February 28th from 6 to 7. Those programs that are put on by the library do have, you can register online at lacountylibrary.org. Our children's programs, we're starting back with our Smarty Pants Story Time. It's going to be Thursday, February 29th. They're at 11 a.m. We will be taking Thursday, March the 7th off. That is a staff development day that the library will be closed. And then they'll be back doing story time March 14th through April the 4th at 11 a.m. Again, registration for those programs are available. And those are what's going on at the library. If you're ever interested in the other programs, you can go to the lacountylibrary.org website to find out more. Thank you.
Mayor, that concludes all requests for comment.
Great, thank you for that, City Clerk. So at this moment, if you didn't fill out a speaker card and you would like to participate in public communication, now is your time.
All right, hello. Should I just start? Okay. I'm here, Mayor and City Council people, and to the general public, that Manny Carrillo is a pedophile supporter and a supporter of pedophilic policies. I have notified him that an accused pedophile with 3 victims have told me about it, and I've accused him. And Manny Carrillo doesn't want to do anything about this pedophile except support him. His name is Sergio Gomez. The chief of police is aware. They do not want to investigate him. Instead, they've changed everyone's schedules around. The parents are busy. The kids are angry. He's going to accommodate the pedophile. And for all of us, just to be clear, pedophilia, he's supporting a 60-year-old man that wants to be sexual with boys. That's what Manny Carrillo wants to support. He's getting paid $250,000 to $300,000 a year to support this. He is incompetent, and we need somebody else to be doing this. If things do not change, I'm asking the city council to enact an ordinance or have a new policy to not have pedophiles entering the youth program. This pedophile says that he has every right to be there. No, he does not. There is no constitutional right to molest kids, which Manny Carrillo supports. And my circumstantial evidence shows that Manny Carrillo may have a sex offense in El Paso. That's why he supports this. I think we need to have a new director that is smarter, more competent, that understands that this is a harm for the community. I've asked him to install cameras. He doesn't do it. There's cameras at the front desk. You know, I've been punched at that gym. I've had my cell phone stolen. Other people have had stuff stolen at that gym. Manny Carrillo is completely incompetent. He is getting paid way too much money. We could get someone younger, somebody that has better vision, somebody that doesn't support pedophilia. If this doesn't stop, if there are no changes, I will be back in 2 weeks. I will be writing this up in newspaper articles. Baldwin Park will be known as the haven for pedophiles. This needs to stop now. We need to have an investigation. There is probable cause. There's a credible source that has accused this man of pedophilia. His stepson or son is also a pedophile with a convicted sex offense and convicted felony. We need to do something about this. Manny Carrillo wants to support him by telling the busy parents not to bring their kids anymore. This is not how the program should be run. I'm requesting that Manny Carrillo has a performance review. Once again, he's getting paid almost $300,000 to be this incompetent. We deserve a lot better, and this city should not be known as a pro-pedophile city. Thank you very much.
Anybody else looking to speak? Now is your time.
Trustee Plata, resident of Baldwin Park. It doesn't matter if I've been here 40 years or 4 months. Gentleman that just got through talking, he's got some things to come here and say, and that's why I'm here. Not the same subject, but this is my city, and I am walking in outside, talking with a couple of the people that are here. I walk up here and I am disappointed, not necessarily at you for this, the residents of Baldwin Park. I look around. This is it. I don't know what they're looking at home, if they're looking at it on the internet or what. But we're supposed to be here in order to hold our elected officials responsible to see that they do a correct job. What it was going to take to bring in the residents, I don't know. Maybe everyone sitting up there that lives here in Baldwin Park should be required to bring in at least 3 or 4 residents from Baldwin Park. Employees from the city, maybe it should be required to come here. But if he's works in street maintenance or whatever it is, show up here and take a stand on your city government. Thank you.
John Rios, residence for 47 years in Bowen Park. The thing that Mr. Plata just said is true. We're not doing enough for the citizens of Bowen Park. On the contrary, we're not supporting the rent control. You guys were supposed to put a rent control and it's getting out of hand. Another thing is that in October, I had an incident in my property. They broke my fence. I know that the chief sent somebody over there to do investigation. They did a beautiful job. But I haven't come back to the city council because I was disappointed. When I called the 911 and they tell me, don't be calling this number, that's why we pay taxes, for them to respond to our demands, okay? There were probably 40 people in front of my house. It would have taken probably, I restrained myself of calling some friends to come over. It would have been bloodshed all over there. The police department was just around the corner. Sergeant that was calling me. And when I called back and when they told me not to call the 911, why do we have 911? I talked to Mr. Damon afterwards, and he tells me, well, they have the right. Yeah, they have the right to demonstrate, but not to break property. You know, they block off the whole street and everything. I've gone through, I'm a Teamster union. I've gone against Cesar Chavez and everything. So I know what you can do and what you can do. The city is not protecting the citizens of Bowen Park. I was just in Arizona this past week looking for property to move out of Bowen Park after almost 50 years of being here because we're not getting the support, okay? I might go back to Imperial Valley too. But I went to Arizona to look for some property to buy over there. After 50 years of being right here, I love the city. When we have street vendors, because, they get permits, they do not have permits. The state does not allow a street vendor to be on the street selling in front of.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Good evening, council. It's been a while since I've been up here. I know you guys missed me. Anyway, what I want to talk about, well, first go with the Parks and Rec thing. My dad worked in sex crimes for many, many years in the sheriff's department. People don't change. And if you do have a pedophile and he is a convicted pedophile, he needs to be out of that area with the children. You need to have rules and regulations that separate that. And it's not punishing the kids and the parents on different time frames. So I think the city council needs to look into that and make sure that this is changed and make sure that people are taken away from the kids, protect the kids. That's what it's all about. Now then, the other thing, I sent everybody emails, which you all got, about the auto body parking, illegally parking cars on the street again. I go through this every year. and Royal Coaches parking their trucks on there. And it just seems that nobody wants to do anything. Something needs to be done. More enforcement needs to be done on that street, not parking enforcement just coming on Mondays or Tuesdays when street sweeping. The other thing is I found out that the vending trucks are not getting any citations for parking next to restaurants because we haven't figured out any rules and regulations. Well, it's simple. They can't be next to restaurants. And one parks right in between McDonald's and Jack in the Box on Baldwin Park Boulevard. That's not right. You have major companies come in here and spend millions of dollars in this city, but you don't protect them. You let these vendors that come in here that don't pay the city nothing. And they're not here as a stationary business. We need to protect the businesses that are here and put money into this city. Now, these vending trucks need to be away from the restaurants so that they're not interfering with their business. The other thing is, we had a building that was graffiti all over it. I come to find out this building had burnt down, and the contractor had cleaned it up, but they've been waiting over 8 months to get the building permits and stuff and the plans approved. This is way too long. You want to build in this city, you have to move along. Get these building department, which nothing gets done here. It's all dragged out and it's all subbed out. You people need to get this stuff together and make this work in the city and get development. I've still been waiting for city council here to get our new building. It's been what, almost 4 years we were promised that? And still nothing's going on. We got plans, we got future, but nothing's going on. And we tore down that Albers station over the Albers air conditioning. It still looks like a dump site over there.
Thank you so
Why
much for your
can't we
time.
clean this up? Thank you.
Hola, buenas noches a todos. Ahora tengo muy poco que platicar. El grafiti, lo que mencionó él, sí se está borrando, pero duran demasiado. Hoy me llamó Ron García que estaban borrando ahí junto al Freeway, la Francisquito y la Virginia. Duró como 6 meses grafiti, tiene que borrarse más rápido para que no sigan rayando, porque se emocionan mucho los que andan rayando y siguen y siguen y siguen. Entonces necesitamos hacerlo más rápido para atacarlos. Hay que hacer eso. Y Chief López, gracias por atender las llamadas. Cuando llamo nos están atendiendo muy bien, pero ahora hay un problema de los que vinieron a hacer el otro meeting, que se quejaron ahí en el súper, que andan todavía los jóvenes ahí robando, tomando marihuana, venden marihuana, y creo que por un lado por ahí venden también droga, y hay que echarle ganas para continuar limpiando todo esto. Y por otro lado, hace años que yo pedí un poste de luz para la calle atrás donde yo tengo mi negocio y hasta la fecha no se ha puesto. No sé cuántos años más necesitamos para ponerlo. No sé quién se va a encargar de esto para ponerlo, porque ahí sale la gente a fumar marihuana en la noche y todo eso, y no tenemos luz, tiran basura, hacen drogas, todo eso, y con luz ya es más difícil. Ok, gracias.
Good evening. I have a lot less to say tonight, but it's in relationship to the graffiti that the gentleman before me said. It's true. And yeah, it's been cleaned up, but it's taking too long for them to clean it up. The intersection of Virginia and Francisquito, it took them almost 7 months. And we have to do this quicker. We have to do this quicker to prevent this from reoccurring. And we have to remove this quicker too. And also remove them, the individuals, quicker so that this can be prevented. Chief Lopez, thank you for responding and for taking care of this. And in regards to the homeless, you know, they're all around and they're stealing, they're smoking pot. Some of them are even selling drugs. And in regards to another issue, it's been almost 4 years that I have asked for a light post. You know, it's important to install this light because Otherwise, this attracts people who come over and smoke pot. And without this light, this cannot be prevented. Thank you.
Great. Seeing that nobody else is looking to speak, I will move to close public communication. So at this moment, we will move to consent calendar. So if there are any items council is looking to pull for discussion, now is your time. I will make a motion to approve items I will make a motion to approve the full consent calendar. Can I have a second? City Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Avila,
Yes.
Councilmember Garcia, Councilmember Damian,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ayala,
Yes.
Mayor Estrada,
Yes.
motion carries 5-0.
For that, City Clerk. So at this moment, we are at a public hearing, item number 7 for fiscal year 2024-25 Annual Action Plan Housing and Community Development Needs and Priorities Public Hearing. So we will conduct a public hearing to consider the city's housing and non-housing community development needs for the preparation of the fiscal year 2024-2025 Annual Action Plan. So at this moment, I will officially open the public hearing for anybody looking to speak in favor of the or opposition or any comments in general regarding the annual action plan for housing and community development needs. So anybody is looking to speak, now is your time. Seeing that nobody is looking to speak, City Clerk, anybody fill out a speaker card or anything?
No, Mayor, we have not received requests for comment.
Great, thank you for that, City Clerk. So at this moment, I will move to officially close the public hearing and bring the item back to council. Council and staff, any questions, comments, or concerns? Now is your time. Not, I will make a motion to file this report. Can I have a second?
Second.
City Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Avila,
Yes.
Councilmember Garcia, Councilmember Damian,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ayala,
Yes.
Mayor Estrada,
Yes.
motion carries 5-0.
Great. Thank you for that, City Clerk. We are at reports of officers. Item number 8, revised request for authorization to purchase APX radios by Motorola Solutions. Enrique, you have an update?
Mayor, if you can open both items 8 and 9 together.
All right, I will simultaneously open items 8 and 9.
Very good. So thank you, Mayor. They're interrelated. At the last council meeting, you had considered the request to acquire a two-way radio system as requested by the police department, and the recommended source of funding was $300,000 from a grant that the city had received. And then the balance of it, which was close to 1.2 million, was to come from the Measure BP. However, the item had not yet gone through the SOC committee. It went to the SOC committee last week, and it was their first inaugural request for funding, which was exciting in itself for all of us because, you know, this is in effect a culmination, the beginning of the realization of what we thought Measure BP, what the council always had envisioned the Measure BP to be able to bring about. And that is the ability to fund programs that are
absolutely necessary, but not always having the funding to come with it. So the SOC committee considered the request for funding. The police department and Public Works made a presentation in terms of the merits of their request. They enthusiastically supported and approved their request for funding and had since sent their recommendation of approval to the city council for your ultimate consideration, concurrence with their recommendation and your final approval. The SOC is empowered to make recommendations to the city council. They're not empowered to make final decisions. They make recommendations, but I know that for you, it's important to have their recommendation and their consideration before you even consider an item. But they enthusiastically and emphatically approved this request. There were other requests that were brought to the SOC, but those will come back to the council at the next meeting. This one was important to come back because you had left it pending from the previous council meeting. Now we're merging both the SOC and the original request, which is why items 8 and 9 are interrelated. Our police department, the chief and the captain are both here as is Public Works, but certainly if you would like to know more about the merits, included in the request is essentially a request for authorizing a sole source of this system. It's an existing system that will get replaced with a brand new generation of radios. I think you heard, at least in the SOC and that the state of the radios is one of obsolescence, pretty much. It's just about to become obsolete. So it's been a struggle in many ways for the police department to, have effective communications with the existing radio system. But if the city council would like to hear more about the merits of their request, the police department is obviously here.
All right. Any questions from city council?
Yeah, I just have a question. I don't know if it's for the captain, maybe, or chief. Either one. So I see that on the radios, it's, they've been in existence for 20 years. So with the purchase of these new radios, how many more years are we secured for where we won't have to upgrade this system again?
I would just be giving an estimation, but I would say this would take us through for the next 2 decades, a good 20 years.
Okay, another 20 years. And I want to say that, I fully support this because I know I've seen some of the radios and you can barely even hear. I don't know how you guys are hearing some of these calls that are coming in. And it's concerning because if it is an emergency, we just had an emergency yesterday with the 4-year-old. And, if the radios aren't really working, that's not a good thing. And, let's face it, we have to make the investments for the future. And that's why I'm excited to see this come to us. Luckily, we did have Measure BP that was approved by the voters. Public safety was one of their biggest and number one concern. So, if no one else has any questions, I fully support this.
I just have a comment. I just want to say that I'm also in full support of purchasing the radios. I have been on many ride-alongs and have tried to figure out what they're saying on the radio, although you guys, since you understand the lingo, but just the in and out and all the static that you hear, I definitely think for your safety and the safety of our residents, we need to make sure we have clear communication. What I'm most excited about too is that we will be able to communicate with other agencies because right now we can't do that. So communicating with other agencies at times that we may have that need. I know there's been times that we have chases coming through our city. And that's important to make sure we have clear communication, that we're not going to lose the communication with the other team coming into our city. So I think it's something that it's well overdue. And I'm happy that the SOC voted unanimously to get this because, as he said, safety is priority to all of our community members. And I am more than happy if you make a motion to second that, if anybody has any more comments.
All right, well, there is a motion, but,
I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve.
A second.
any questions, comments from?
I just want to clarify,
Both items
Okay.
or item 8 only?
It's for both items simultaneously, 8 and 9.
Second.
All right, so first, second, city clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Avila,
Yes.
Councilmember Garcia,
Yes.
Councilmember Damian,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ayala,
Yes.
Mayor Estrada,
Yes.
motion carries 5-0.
All right, thank you for that, city clerk. So at this moment, we are at item number 10, adoption of resolution number 2024-004 to approve commercial cannabis agreement number 24-01 and cannabis application for commercial cannabis activity, retail, in the IC. So I'm gonna go ahead and give the floor to Nick.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Honorable City Council. Can I have the next slide, please? The item before you is a retail cannabis business to be operated by the applicant RDX Catalyst Baldwin Park LLC at 13467 Dalewood Street. As you can see from the aerial photograph, the location is situated south of the 10 freeway off Baldwin Park Boulevard and immediately adjacent to an on-ramp and an off-ramp of the freeway. The site is developed with a single-story industrial building with just over 20,000 square feet in size. And it was permitted for commercial cannabis manufacturing in 2018. There are 23 parking stalls and 2 ADA stalls in the parking lot that provide customer parking and 16 additional parking spaces behind the security gate for employees. The surrounding uses include 10 freeway, and the lumberyard to the north, a hardware store and lumberyard to the south, and industrial buildings to the east and the west. Next slide, please. The proposal is for RDX Catalyst Baldwin Park LLC to use about 2,700 square feet of area at the front of the building for a dispensary, which will require an interior remodel. The rest of the building will be used by the cannabis manufacturing company, RD Baldwin Park / Tropicana Enterprises LLC for future manufacturing at a time to be determined and under a separate scope of work. Next slide. The applicant is proposing to be the first retail cannabis operator in the city. A commercial cannabis activity that is retail is permitted in the city pursuant to Baldwin Park Municipal Code, Chapter 128, which was codified in April 2023 in response to the passage of ballot measure CB in 2022. There are several requirements listed in Chapter 128 that a business must meet to be eligible to sell retail cannabis. This applicant meets these requirements that include, but are not limited to, the following 3 requirements. The business must have a commercial cannabis license in the city. Must already have a commercial cannabis license in the city. Number 2, to be in good standing with the city. And 3, to have a site design that complies with the city municipal code requirements. Next slide, please. In regard to the first requirement of having an existing license, the applicant meets this requirement. One of the managing members of RDX Catalyst Baldwin Park LLC also owns RD Baldwin Park / Tropicana Enterprises LLC, which is a cannabis manufacturing company that obtained a license to operate in 2018. While this company is not actively manufacturing products, they maintain a commercial cannabis license to do so at the site, and therefore the applicant satisfies the requirement of the law. The next requirement is to be in good standing. To achieve this, a business must be, the business must not have any open code enforcement cases against it, and the public benefits fee due to the city must be current. RD Baldwin Park / Tropicana Enterprises is behind on their payment of public benefit fees to the city in the amount of approximately $600,000, but has agreed to pay the outstanding balance in full. A draft cannabis fee deferral payment plan agreement is a separate binding agreement and one that requests when one of the requests is to authorize the CEO and city attorney to execute this agreement. The draft agreement is included with a staff report and was created by the CEO and city attorney with the input of the applicant's attorney and is put forth as a practical way to meet the requirement. With the acceptance of the draft commercial cannabis fee deferral payment plan agreement, this proposal satisfies the requirement to be in good standing. The last requirement is to not create an adverse impact on the community. To make the business safe for customers, the applicant has proposed improvements to the parking lot lighting and driveway location. The parking and circulation for the site were analyzed by a reputable traffic consultant, and the project was found as to not create negative impacts as it's currently designed. The consultant recommended eliminating street parking across the street from the business to prevent off-site customer parking and illegal jaywalking, and this has been added as a condition of approval. The consultant is available to answer any technical questions that the council may have regarding the traffic study. Next slide, please. In addition to the previously mentioned interior model, the applicant is proposing to make improvements to the building exterior, landscaping, parking lot, and off-site improvements as required. This cannabis retail store will be the latest in the series of Catalyst cannabis retail stores that operate in Southern California. And like the nearby ones in Pomona, El Monte, and Santa Ana, the store will feature an attractive modern design to make it one of the more welcoming buildings in the area. First and foremost, the appealing architecture of the building will be retained, and the barred windows and razor wire that are currently there will be removed, and that to create a more attractive retail experience for the customers. Dark gray paint and trellis accents will be added to the building, and the existing parking lot gate and fencing will be painted dark gray to match. And decorative bollards will be added to the existing driveway, and new modern light fixtures will be added to the parking lot. Trees and plants will be added to the parking lot in the front of the building and within the parking lot to also create more welcoming environment. Next slide, please. Commercial cannabis agreement sets the terms and conditions for the business, and this document is negotiated between the city's special counsel for cannabis and the applicant's attorney. The terms of the agreement are $175,000 of public benefit fee to be paid on an annual basis for a duration of 5 years. Special counsel, Julie Sylvia, is also here present, and she can answer more specific questions that the council may have regarding this agreement. With that, I'd like to make a recommendation. Planning staff is recommending to approve resolution, the resolution for this project that approves the commercial cannabis agreement as well as the commercial application. We recommend that the city council authorize the CEO and city attorney to execute a cannabis fee deferral payment plan, and recommend that the council find that the project is exempt from CEQA. That concludes my presentation, and I'm available for comment, and as well as we also have the other folks mentioned that can answer technical questions as well.
All right, thank you for that presentation. Could you go back to the last slide? It's not. Want to see the last slide. I think I'm understanding of the process. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up to my colleagues for any questions or comments. All right. And so the only question I would ask is if there's a clear definition of the payment terms, and then when it becomes that they are over, because then we come into the limbo of whether they should keep operating or not.
Right, so it is written in, there it is written into the commercial cannabis agreement, how they operate and when fees are due. So that is clear within the agreement.
I have a question. If that's okay. So, I mean, we know that they have fallen behind before, correct? On their payments.
So the existing manufacturing business, that's already Baldwin Park, Tropicana, they fell behind in payments and they've agreed to make the city whole in those payments and they've suggested a payment plan and the city has also discussed that with them as a way that they can practically make that over time. So yes.
Okay, so we have seen them fall behind on their payments. What will happen and what do we have in place? And I know it's in here, but I just want you to say, what do we have in place to make sure that will not happen again? And I know the attorney has probably, I just want you to explain
So
because it is on here.
So this is just with respect to the deferred payment plan, which is acting a little bit like a settlement agreement between us.
Correct.
But just to clarify, they did make plans, even though for the most part, they didn't operate a manufacturing business at that site. They still made payments. They just didn't make payments in a sufficient amount to comply with the previous development agreement that they were operating under. And I don't think we caught it. And so when this new application came, that's when our finance folks caught it. And that's when we informed the potential applicant of that fact. And so we worked out an agreement and you received a letter at your dais from the applicant's attorney saying that they are in agreement with that payment plan concept, whereby they have agreed to make up the deficiency in the amount of fees that are owed. In return, we put them on a payment plan that makes a larger upfront payment, 20% of that total $600,000. In return, what the city would be getting if they don't is we have a fixed payment schedule that says you must pay by this date every month. And if they don't, they have agreed, or they will agree in the payment plan to say that if they don't make that payment on that date, if it's late, then and if it's not brought up current, the first thing that happens is if they're late on that payment, they lose the benefit of the 10% reduction at the end. So they're getting a 10% reduction off that $600,000 if they make the payments on time. If they don't make the payments at all, they've agreed that their development agreement and their manufacturing operation permits will automatically lapse without the need for a hearing, without the need for anything. They automatically lapse, nothing for the city to do.
I just wanted to make sure that you explained that so everybody would.
And so I think they're cognizant of the fact that, look, they need to have an operating manufacturing or other business as part of the commercial part, because then that jeopardizes the commercial part. Although with that, that's covered under the new CCA. And so there are provisions in there to actually go through a process for possible revocation in case that part of the business doesn't comply.
Great. Any more questions, comments, concerns from council or staff? No? If not, I'll make a motion to approve. Can I have a second? City clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Avila. Councilmember Garcia.
I'll abstain. Thank you.
Councilmember Damian.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ayala.
Yes.
Mayor Estrada.
Yes.
Motion carries 401.
Great. Thank you for that, city clerk. On the topic of cannabis, I do I think something that this is a tax measure. And for a very long time, cannabis has really hurt working class communities like ours that have systematically been victims of the war on drugs. And I think that these are opportunities where retail cannabis can provide funding for programs that help communities uplift themselves. And I would like the council to consider a discussion where a portion of the tax fees go to a community benefits fund to be able to fund these types of programs.
I would like to bring that back with a little bit more.
Yeah. So not right now,
behind
but
that, and
something that
then-
we.
Yeah,
on the mind.
definitely. I mean, it's a good idea, but I think that we will bring it back with a little bit more context to it and
Yeah. So just want to make sure that we bring up that idea before it starts, so that way we keep it in mind as we focus on the infrastructure. So at this moment, I believe we are all done with our regular business meetings, but we do have where's my agenda? We have the city council acting as successor agency on the dissolved Community Development Commission. We have two treasurer reports, and I will make a motion to approve them. Can I have a second?
Second.
City clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Avila,
Yes.
Councilmember Garcia,
Yes.
Councilmember Damian.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ayala,
Yes.
Mayor Estrada,
Yes.
motion carries 5-0.
Thank you for that, city clerk. And we also have a housing authority consent calendar, and we have a finance authority consent calendar, and I'll make a motion to approve both simultaneously. Can I have a second?
Second.
City clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Avila,
Yes.
Councilmember Garcia,
Yes.
Councilmember Damian,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ayala,
Yes.
Mayor Estrada,
Yes.
motion carries 5-0.
Great, thank you for that, city clerk. So at this moment, we are down to, we are completely finished with our regular business items. We don't have any communications, but I did want to bring up the idea of understanding how we can bring back the residential rehab program. I know that we have a big partnership with Habitat. Unfortunately, the limits very limited to the homeowners that we can help. And I know that there are also other homeowners that don't qualify for that type of program that also need repairs and that need just repairs to make sure that their homes are up to code and other issues along those factors. So any questions or comments?
That's a good idea also, to include that with like tree trimmings, because I know that could be very expensive. Sometimes if trees are overgrown, that type of stuff thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'd like to make one more comment as soon as you're done.
That was it. That was my one item.
Okay, I just, and I should have made it after the last comment. I just want to make it clear, when cannabis was brought into our city, if I would have been a council member then, I would have voted against cannabis coming into our city, and I've made that very clear from the beginning. But I also made it clear once I became a council member that it's already here, it's already been accepted. And my job now is to make sure they're successful, because if they're successful, then we're gonna get taxes out of that, and we can get benefits for our community. But I always want to make that clear. I would have voted no against cannabis in our city, but now we need to make sure they're successful since they are here. And the last thing, I want to congratulate Imelda, our housing manager. It's her first year anniversary yesterday with our city. So I want to wish you congratulations and to stay with us many years. So thank you for being with our city and picking Baldwin Park. Congratulations on your first year anniversary.
Mayor.
I guess we gave you homework on your first year anniversary, huh? Yes, Councilwoman.
Congratulations. I want to just kind of echo the same comments as Councilmember Avila. I was actually here on the council and I voted no when that ordinance came before us, because I felt like it, there were still things that we needed to flesh out and think through. But the bottom line is, it is absolutely an industry that is here in our city now. And yeah, we absolutely have to, do our best to regulate it so that it doesn't have any negative impact to our residents. And, make sure that the city is receiving the revenues that, were expected when this industry was brought to the city, so I don't know if we've realized that yet, but I hope that through our efforts here on the council that we will, we will soon. Yeah, I mean, there have been incremental, it hasn't been a complete loss, right? So, yeah.
All right.
Mayor, one short communication with regards to a power outage that we experienced mostly in the downtown area of the city. It was caused by the proverbial metallic Mylar balloon. It was at a location near the Hilda Solis Park on Stitchman, Edison, Police Department, Public Works, the Fire Department all responded quickly. power was restored within 35 minutes roughly. And, but it's just a reminder of how one simple balloon can cause such a damage. Many businesses lost power, refrigeration, you name
Maybe
it.
we can put reminders up on our social media about those.
Very
balloons.
good.
Yeah.
Enrique? I have an announcement as well. I was just informed at the community center, we had a pipe burst in the senior center. So staff is working on that. We've called out the alarm company, the plumber, etc., and we're hoping to resolve it by the morning. Thank you.
Sounds like a late night, Manny.
But we all like being here, so it's okay. But yes, thank you to our staff for being attentive and making sure that we take care of items. I know that we were pretty diligent in working with Edison earlier with the balloon issue, now with the pipe, but you know, all of our staff has always been very attentive to all of the situations. So very grateful for them. So now at 8:32 PM, before 9 o'clock, I will adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Second.
All right. So much enthusiasm. And so meeting is adjourned. Good night, everybody.